What's up, everybody? Here we go. Round 9, AFL 2021 season. Carlton, Melbourne. Another Sunday game. MCG. Another test. I fucking love this. I love it. I wish we could play final sides every week. It is exactly what we need. It definitely sounds like a bit of a broken record talking about the challenge and the top team. And this week is, look, it's a tough one for the fans. It is. It's a tough one for the fans. I try and not carry on the emotion of the previous game. But I can't. I mean, this is where we're at. There's a real severity to this week for me. We are 3-5 as it stands right now. We go up against Melbourne, who are the top side, and they've played brilliantly all season. I think one of the key traits about the Melbourne Footy Club for me this season, in all the games that I've watched, I think I've watched all bar one or two of their games, is their ability to just be professional and hang in there, and they sort of have a really good feel for the game. It's fascinating what they've been able to do this season after last year's disappointment. But yeah, they've got a good feel for the game. They don't panic. They wait their time, they wait their turn, and then they mitigate the damage, I should say. And then when it's their turn to go, they go. And those characteristics are the hallmarks of exactly how the Western Bulldogs beat us last week. They just hung in there because we were on top, and then when it was their turn to go, they went. And, part of me, every week I try, not try and be positive for anyone but myself. I'm only documenting my own thoughts in this channel. That's how it's always been, and that's how it always will be. But part of me has a bit of some confidence in that, it could be the perfect game that Melbourne drop. They're due for a loss. Can they really win 9 in a row? Like, are they that good? Then the other part of me says, we're going to be in the game this week, 100%. We're not going to roll over and lose by 10 goals. I hope that doesn't come back and bite me. But, we're going to show up to this week. And then we're going to get to a point in the game where we've done a lot of good work. And we're going to put ourselves in a position to either win or have a really good fist of it. And then there's going to become... Because there's the game. There is the match this week. But then there's the fourth quarter this week. And what I mean by that is when it comes time to really win, when those moments arise and the pressure comes and here we are again, guys. It's time to win the game. It's time to stand up and it's time to do the job. And that's where my confidence has really waned. I'm going to be honest. It's really waned, and I'm not giving them an out. There's we've got some injuries. We do. We've got some key players out, but look at what we do have. If you look at what you don't have, it's all perspective, even in life. Like if you look for what you don't have in your life, you're going to have a mentality of scarcity, and you're going to think that there's not a lot going on. But if you look at what you do have, you're generally going to find that you have plenty. I think there's plenty of talent across each line of the field. I think we've got. Look at the names. Sard, Williams, Doherty, Cripps, Walsh, Williams, Harry Mackay. These guys are all, I think pre-season I might have been talking about them, maybe not all of them, but most of them with the ability to be in that all-Australian squad type conversation, not necessarily all of them making it, but Cripps, Walsh, Williams, Sard, Wiedering, for sure. Those 5 I would have said can be worthy of that squad conversation. Then you got Doc. He's pretty good. You got Mackay, who, right now, as it stands right now, is the common medal leader. I didn't think he'd be this good at the start of the year, but there's plenty of talent there. I'm not giving these guys an out. It's about the buy-in. It has to be about the buy-in, collectively, all of them. Are they all bought in? And I know that there's some issues, there's some individual issues, which it's funny because if there's 1 or 2 missing pieces, it just affects the whole chain. And that's probably what Melbourne have that we don't have right now. They seem to have a complete and total buy-in. Their stars have just re-signed long-term. They've put they've put it in writing. They've talked the talk about how much they love the club and where it's going and whatnot. And then they also signed the paperwork and put that talk in writing. And that's just not what we have from our, some of our key players, Cripps and Mackay. We haven't got that clarity just yet. Is that the reason why we're losing? No. There's something else. There's a lot. So there's that. But this week I'm going I just expect to win. I do. I don't think it is an inconceivable task for us to, not win this game. Why can't we win this game? I believe in who is on the field. I believe that there's plenty there to win this game. There is a reality to me as well in that, okay, Melbourne are a much better side than us right now. Much better, and that's fair enough. So I can't be completely, one-eyed and go into the game and say, yeah, we're winning. But fucking hell, if we put ourselves in the same position that we did against the Western Bulldogs, in that, 5 goals up or 27, 28 points up, if we do that again and lose the way we lost again, what, are we going to be sitting here next week saying, oh yeah, but Melbourne were the top team and don't know, when's it going to end? Like, I'm living in the moment today, right now. We're 3-5 and we have to get this ship turned around. We've got to stay at 500. We've got to stay at 50-50 or above, to put ourselves in that position for the finals. It's this year. It's now. They're all there. The pieces are all there. I understand Fisher and Martin and Tom de Koning would come into this team and make us a little bit better, but I don't think that makes us worlds better. In terms of the changes, now we had the injury report yesterday. Jack Silvani, we know he's definitely going to miss. So I dare say I've been thinking maybe it is a Josh Honey. But I mean, the one thing everyone's got to realise with Honey and these kids is that the reserves, I watched the first 2.5 quarters. The reserves competition compared to the AFL is worlds apart. It's worlds apart. And Honey is still just an impact player in short bursts in the reserves grade. So, as much as this pains me to say, because we have no McGovern, no Oscar Mack, no Charlie Curnow, and Levi's playing, I think it might be a Matt Kennedy to come and play forward. Now, I know that that's crazy because we're crying out about guys playing in one position in the VFL, but then coming into the AFL and playing a different position. But I just think Kennedy's attributes far outweigh Honey's attributes, just for this week, because he can win a bit more of the ball than Honey. Is his pressure good enough? Don't know. Probably not. That's probably where Honey gets in. But Honey at the same time doesn't lay an exorbitant amount of tackles. He just has those bursts. Whereas Kennedy can be a better marking target, I think. So I'm thinking about Kennedy coming in for Jack Silvani instead of Honey. I think that's where the pecking order is right now. I've seen the talk about, TDK should he come in, and it's very unlucky that the reserves don't have a game. They've got to buy. The timing is shocking because I just felt like I wanted to be a little bit more cautious with Tom before bringing him in and give him one extra week than normal. But I can't watch Levi Casbolt play anymore, personally. Again, just personal views. Can't watch him play anymore. Pito has to be, sanctioned for how poor he was against the second gamer last week. So the conversation then goes, do you bring Tom in for Levi or do you bring Tom in for Pito? I think it's got to be one of them. Personally, that's how I see it. Those are two changes, and I think it's hard. I said last week I don't think Murphy can play in the team because of the way that they pressured, but that was just against Essendon. I mean, Gibbons, Noons, Cottrell, all, for me, have put themselves in that danger territory where now Mark Murphy's available, and I kind of think he has to play. So one of those three I would be changing. I think I would be bringing out Cottrell, but then at the same time, he's a goer, but being a goer should be just mandatory, should be your base level. So it's difficult, and that's where obviously I'll turn to you, and I want to get your thoughts about the changes. But those are probably the three that I'm flagging, and I haven't even spoken about like Zach Williams yet because, like I said in my player ratings, if that was Paddy Dow giving us 9 possessions, he would be dropped, and we would be screaming for it. And does David Teague have the mental fortitude to make an example of Zach Williams this early in his Carlton career? Because for me, I'm thinking long term. We have to set standards. They've got to be changed. And in Zach Williams' 5th game, he gives us that performance from last week. If you drop him now, you really set the standard for him for the rest of his Carlton experience. And I wouldn't be so sad to see Williams come out and Setterfield come in. Now, has Setterfield dominated in the In the reserves, not really. But Williams, if he plays, the microscope comes on him. And so it should. So it should. So it's all good to come and take our resources as a football club, being one marquee player, but you have to back it up. So I'm going to be looking out very carefully for that. If anyone in this team is really injured and sore to the point where they're only giving us 60% of what they're capable of, please don't put your hand up to play this week. Be a leader. Be a man and be a leader. When I say man, I mean adult, not a boy. Be a leader and say, I'm not right. I can't give you 100%. I can't even give you 90%. So therefore, I can't put my hand up. That's kind of where I want to see the attitude now. So that's where I'm at. It's starting to get a little bit more, the time is not to sit there with your hand on your face and just stare. The time is to make calls and act, because we're 3-5. Can I please I can't stress it enough. We're 3-5 heading into round 9. It's slipping away. Every week is so important for us. Every single game. So that's where I'm at. I think I'm going to tip us. Maybe I won't tip us, because the week that I don't tip us is probably the week that we win. The week that I completely give up is the week that we win. I can just smell it. So I don't know. Where are you at? How are you feeling? The reaction this week has been phenomenal. I think we've done a good job of, keeping it about the game and not about the people. And I actually think as a fan base, so I can only talk on behalf of this channel and the way you guys communicate in comments and whatnot on videos. I think you guys should be applauded, because there's been an improvement from years gone by about how we communicate about the players. And I think that hasn't been spoken about enough. There are always going to be those that cross the line, and they're going to be a minority, but I think we've done a pretty good job in this community of keeping it respectful and keeping it intelligent and keeping it about the game and bringing reason to the table, as opposed to just lashing out for no reason. And we'll leave that for there. So again, let's chat about it in the comments. Where are you feeling? Where are you sitting this week? Where are your emotions? Where are your thoughts? Please share them with me below, and then we'll consolidate and go from there. Let's go. Go the Mighty Blues.